30,000 coal miners have downed tools throughout the country. Embattled coal producers, Anglo Coal, Glencore, Exxaro, among those hardest hit. The National Union of Mineworkers announced the strike last night. They're demanding an increase of 1,000 rand across the board. On the table from the coal-producing companies are offers between 357 rand and 600 rand per month. Now, a sore point in the skewed racial housing benefits, it's one of them, with white employees allegedly getting more. The coal industry itself is dwindling. Previously, the industry had over 125,000 workers. Now that number is down to 80,000. The sector contributes approximately 1.5% to GDP. So joining me more now on that coal strike and its implications, Motsamai Motlahame and from the Chamber of Mines, and Kulu Pasiwe, ex-Eskom spokesperson. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Thanks for both of you for coming in.
Good afternoon.
Kulu, I want to start with you. It's fair to say that there's been a lot of anxiety because of this NUM strike. As a result, what many are saying is that here you have coal being cut on the supply front to Eskom, and you have a chance of load shedding being intensified. What's the situation now with Eskom as far as stockpiles are concerned?
Well, currently we do have enough coal stockpiles, but it's not enough to go on forever. For at least about 30 days or so, we should be okay. However, we are hopeful that between now and the near future, the two parties, which is the NUM and the Chamber of Mines, will sit and resolve this matter as soon as possible. But for the interim period, about 30 days or so, we should be okay.
Well, I suppose it's a very difficult situation, isn't it, Motsamai, as far as the Chamber of Mines is concerned, because you have to resolve the strike, and at the same time, you're going to need electricity to actually feed in your mine. So you're in a bit of a double whammy here.
You could say that in a way, though in terms of the electricity supply, we really leave it up to Eskom. Yep. We produce the coal and then we supply it to Eskom. And we believe that Eskom does have some reserves. So,
what is the sticking point at the moment now with regards to the National Union of Mineworkers? I mean, does it purely boil down to a percentage increase at this stage?
Yeah, as we understand it, there are two issues. Yeah. The one, which is the bigger issue, is the increases on wages, especially for the lower category employees. And then the other issue is the issue of housing with one or two of the companies.
Yeah. I mean, rephrasing my previous question, how important is it for electricity to be maintained at this stage with regards to those coal mines?
Well, everybody in the country needs electricity. The coal mines do use electricity. So it is an important input into the production process.
Kulu, you would have also seen, Kulu, reports surfacing this morning and over the weekend. I think it was a development bank from Germany really raising concerns about the transmission infrastructure of Eskom, saying that it might need 200 billion rand to actually fix that. Should we be concerned about that report? Is it new?
Well, it's not necessarily new. From our side as a company, actually, we have said before that we do need money so that we can strengthen our transmission networks. Yep. Because remember, we have just over 340,000 kilometers of transmission lines across the country, and we want to strengthen them or even build new ones. For example, between Waterberg, which is the sort of a new mining area, and KwaZulu-Natal, we want to strengthen those lines going that side of KwaZulu-Natal. So that will need money. And coincidentally, next week on the 16th of this month, yeah, we're going to have a transmission development plan forum where all the people or stakeholders within the infrastructure sector will be coming together with us so that we plan as to how we want to see this thing going forward. So it is part of our plan, and we have been doing so for over 10 years now.
How big is that consultative component in that plan? I mean, because you often hear, from different quarters in terms of contractors and other small businesses saying that, if there is more consultation, perhaps people can put their worth in this.
Well, we have had these meetings or these forums for over 10 years now, and many of the plans that we currently are executing actually are a product of that interaction. So we do encourage municipalities, mining houses, and everyone else who is involved in the sector to come to that meeting on the 16th so that we can incorporate their plans into our main roadmap for transmission development.
Okay, I want to just bring it back before I let you go now on the NUM coal strike at the moment. big question is contingency plans. You've said that for now you've got your stockpiles in place, but of course you have to have bigger and more future-looking plans if something dreadful has to happen and the strike continues.
Well, ideally, we would not want to use our reserves, because a reserve by definition is something that you use only when you really have to use it. So we're hoping that the first part of it, which is to say that hopefully very soon the mines and the unions will meet and then resolve the issues that they currently are facing. But the Chamber of Mines, or some of their members at least, do have their own coal reserves. If we really are forced into a corner, that at some point we might have to tap into that resource, but it's a distant option. The main reason really that as to why we really would like to see this coming to an end is so that we can get the fresh supplies of coal from the mining houses. But if it doesn't come, then obviously we'll continue to use our reserves.
All right, so Motsama, let me just bring you in here. I mean, of course, you're not Glencore, and I don't expect you to speak on behalf of them, but we spoke to one of our correspondents on the ground who was at an Exxaro mine, or rather Exxaro, shall I say, not Glencore. He was at the Exxaro mine, and this issue of the issue of coal from delivery of coal, how big of a stumbling block is that? I mean, what are you expecting for Eskom in terms of the negotiations on that front?
I can talk mostly on the wage negotiations process, because the issue of coal supply and what companies supply and when is really an internal company matter that the chamber is not really seized with. Safe to say that a couple of our members do supply coal to Eskom, and that if the strike continues for an unreasonably lengthy period of time, then that might be affected.
You'll be willing to jump into a contingency plan, as Kulus has alluded to?
I can't speak for the mines. I do know that they've got off-take and relationship agreements with Eskom. That's an issue that would be handled between Eskom and the respective mines that are supplying coal to Eskom.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks indeed. Motsamai Motlahame from the Chamber of Mines, Kulupasiwe from Eskom. Thanks indeed for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.